We are live,
It's
yes.
been a, I think, record-setting and even a record-breaking day for the India women's cricket team. They have continued their good form. They began against South Africa in the one-day series, and they have amassed as many as 525 runs on the day one of the one-off test against South Africa, who have looked hapless so far. And all credit here, I think, has to go to the opening pair of Indian team, Smriti Mandhana and Shafali Verma, and Shafali Verma specifically, who has amassed a maiden double hundred in Test cricket.
28th of June is just a trailer for India South Africa. 29th June, you're probably going to see one step ahead of what's going to happen because today the women's team has created. You talk about baseball England. What the hell is baseball England? Today, the kind of hitting that the India women's team did. Shefali Verma today, 205 or 197, the fastest double century in women's cricket. And she's become only the second Indian after Mithali Raj to hit a double century in women's tests. She looked good to break Kiran Baluch's record of 242, the Pakistan batter who had done it against
Which is the
West
all-time
Indies.
record.
Yeah, but unfortunately she was run out. But Smriti Mandhana, I mean, if you want to
She's
read,
on a 100 making spree.
I mean, did Virat Kohli's time and the thing that he had with RCB, that form went to her because she hit two centuries, a 90, and now yet another 100. That is her golden streak that Smriti Mandhana is having at this point in time. So, the partnership of 292, 205, 141, look at the way how they were going about
So
it.
two batters, one went past 100, one went past 200, and there was a 50, and there are two batters also who are inching to the 50 mark.
Yeah.
And with respect to the India's score here, so India have scored 525, just to remind, and this is India's highest test score on a single day in a test match. The previous best was against 410 against England that they amassed
Navi Mumbai.
last year in 2023, and now they have even bettered their record.
Now, if you look at the broader context as to how quick and how epoch making this day of test match cricket is for women's cricket, consider this: 525 runs scored, the highest in a single day. If you look at it in all forms of test cricket, has been 588. That was set by England against India
Manchester.
In Manchester, 1936. The match where Vijay Merchant, Kota Ramaswamy, all of them made runs. But at that time, it was certain England legends who had taken the show away. So, 525 for 4 in 98 overs, meaning 5.36 was the run rate with which they were scoring.
And I'm a little surprised with the South Africa's underwhelming approach that has been there, so far in the ODIs and in the Test also. Obviously, they are going through some kind of a transition, but this is the same South African team that had really had the likes of those big players to compete against England and Australia, who are the giants in women's cricket. And to see such kind of dominance that the Indian team is showing against South Africa, I think it's good signs and it's a sign of, I think, bigger and better things to come.
I mean, look at the economy rate. The best economy rate is Masabata class with 4.5. You look at Annery Jackson, who's making her, she's not been experienced, 5.5. Nadine de Klerk, one of the best bowlers that South Africa has in this current crop, she's gone at 6.2. Chumi Sekokune, she went for 5.5. Then Mlaba went for 4.7. Delmi Tucker went for 5.4 and Sunil Lees going for 5 per over. None of the South Africa bowlers managed anything.
And if you look at India's approach, they are currently at 525 and pretty much sure that it's a 4-day test, 98 overs per game. The weather looks clear for all the remaining days of the test. So what India might just do to ensure is that they would try to get to 650 or 700 or even more than that, so as to make sure that they only bat once. So the philosophy of bat once, bat big, and it should be it.
So imagine the highest ever women's test score is 575 for 9 declared, which Australia had achieved against South Africa. So South Africa's bowlers, they have just been having a torrid time when you look at test cricket as such. So India can very well overhaul that, but considering it's a 4-day test, you would look at, okay, maybe we would not want to chase a record. If they score at this rate, another 10-15 overs, they get past 600, get South Africa in, and with India's spinners being in prime form, especially Deepti Sharma, that will be very important. So, 525 for 4, and you saw the intent. Richa Ghosh getting 3 boundaries in the second last over, so that is why it is a good thing. Daniel M, Indian women team still minnows in terms of ICC trophies. I agree, because there is Australia right up here. there is daylight, and then there is the rest of the teams that are there. Women's
Yes.
cricket, there is a clear-cut classification.
And even England is also going through some kind of transition.
Yeah, so that is why, see, Australia and India, you look at it, there's a rivalry emerging in women's cricket, but Australia are the clear-cut favorites at this point.
Hands
in time.
down better.
It is harsh, sportsmen, after how much time South Africa is playing a test match, it's pretty harsh on them. I think just last year they played the Australia test match.
And this is also India and South Africa's second test in the span of 10 years. The last time they played a test was way back in 2014 in Mysore, wherein India won by an innings. So that was also a comprehensive victory.
Yeah, priorities. 10 years later, India, South Africa played test match. And Australia toured India after 16 years.
Yes.
Priorities. That's the thing.
That's way back in 2023 that you're talking
Yes,
about. Yeah.
yes. So that is the thing. 525 for 4, a historic day for India women's cricket. And because of that, maybe they can create more records on day 2 then. Shafali Verma, we thought her white ball form was patchy, but now 205 or 197, the fastest ever. And Smriti Mandhana, the golden touch that continues for her. So from me and Sid Gulati, it is bye-bye. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today, building up to India-South Africa, not the women's test match, but for the main one, which we will do at 7:15 p.m. IST. Bye-bye.